Hello and welcome once again. Thank you for joining me in this video. We are going to unbox and review these Hot Toys Avengers Endgame Thanos, or the armored version of Thanos, green version. And let's see if this figure is still worth it to collect or not. Now let's take a look at the figure in detail. Let me get the figure out of the box and all of the accessories that come with it for us to have a better view of its details. Now here are the accessories that come with this figure. This is the double-edged sword, and I think it scales quite nicely. I think it is made of a hard plastic, and the weathering and paint application were done so nicely that it looks like true metal. You do have to be careful in handling this accessory as it has a very pointy edge. So be extra mindful in handling this accessory, and it should not be reachable by small children in your house. This figure comes with an interchangeable pair of hands. This one is the relaxed hands, which has a rubber material and high level of detail that looks like a real hand, but in a 6 scale figure. It also comes with slightly open hands and weapon grabbing hands. You should be careful though, because I think this weapon grabbing hands is prone to damage the paint when you're putting the double-edged sword. So you do be careful on that note. Now here is an alternative portrait that patterned Josh Brolin head sculpt as Thanos in the movie. This is an alternative aggressive head sculpt that I think is cool accessory that's perfectly matched with the Infinity Gauntlet for a snapping pose, which I will try to show you later in this video. Another cool accessory that comes with this figure is this helmet that can be easily put into the head sculpt perfectly. It was perfectly molded and painted nicely with slight weathering and battle scars, which is very impressive in my opinion. And it has a rubber foam inside to lessen the rubbering of this plastic helmet into the paint of the head sculpt. This figure also comes with this detailed miniature infinite gauntlet, which I think is a cool addition to this figure. But it's not that accurate in the Avengers Endgame movie, because I preferred, given a chance, to have it on a nano gauntlet. But I think Hot Toys included that nano gauntlet accessory in the Avengers Endgame Professor Hulk figure, and also the recent release of Battle Damage Thanos. However, for me, I think it is better to have this one than nothing at all. So I still appreciate the outcome of this figure. It also comes with alternative articulated fingers, but not that perfect snap pose that you can have. But you can still live with it. This figure comes with this quarter scale movie theme base that match with Thanos' skin tone, and a crouch grabber to help this figure have stability in the display case. This is a huge display base that would require a good amount of space in the display case. So I think that is something that you also need to consider before deciding to get this figure. Out of the box, the figure comes with a more serious and mean portrait that patterned Josh Brolin's head sculpt as Thanos in the movie, which was nicely done here. The accuracy of paint application of this head sculpt when hit by a nice lighting looks realistic. The detailing of this figure is pretty impressive, and the massive body of this figure that I think, in my opinion, accurate to the movie. The satin gold paint with slight weathering effect has done nicely. This one has a movable piece that are magnetized, which is a cool feature of this figure. I think this feature adds seamless look of the figure's armor and less restriction when making an arm raised posing. However, this one is another moving piece which I think needs some careful handling when posing this figure, just to avoid some scratches in its rubbery arms. Now here is the side-by-side height comparison of this figure against the Iron Man Mark 85 figure, which looks scaled perfectly in my opinion. It is approximately 18 inches in height, while Iron Man Mark 85 is 12 inches in height, both without the display base. And I think the proportion of the body used on both figures is scaled nicely together. Here's also the side-by-side comparison in their movie-themed display base, which I think also looks nice. Now, going back to my question if this is a buy or a pass, in my opinion, there are two things. This is a buy for me if your plan in your collection is to have a clean, armored Thanos with no concern about the miniature Infinity Gauntlet's accuracy to the movie. The accessories are in great detail, articulation is enough to give you some good poses, the paint application is impressive in my opinion, enough weathered battle scars applied, and lastly, a great presence in your MCU collection. However, if your plan is to have an accurate Avengers Endgame scene in your collection, you can't go wrong with the battle damage version of this Thanos figure, which I think based on this photo released by Hot Toys and also some reviews done by other collectors, this version also have high level of battle damage paint application from the head sculpt, helmet, armor, the broken double-edged sword, two versions of Nano Gauntlet, and the cool diorama display base are molded and painted nicely. But of course, at the end of the day, it's still your collection, and I'm just here sharing my thoughts and my experience through this video, with the hope that it adds value to you so that it may help you in some way to make better sound decisions in your collection journey. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to hit me with a like and consider subscribing to the channel so that you'll be notified of any upcoming video releases. And if you have any questions about the content you've seen today, feel free to put them in the comments section below. And as always, keep your geek side up. Until the next one, stay safe and bye for now.